Good morning, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather, and this is September 4th, taking a look at yesterday. This should be yesterday's picture. We're looking at the Boulder Mountains. So today, we expect mostly cloudy skies, highs in the mid 60s, so we're 10 to 15 degrees below average. Chances of rain significantly decrease afternoon, and we're still looking at that first snowfall tonight with trace to 2 inches up high, mostly in the Pioneers and Lost River Range. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny, highs in the upper 60s, so getting a little bit warmer. There's an upper level low that's going to move to the south, but it really lacks any juice to give us any thunder showers or storms. And then looking ahead, we have a warming trend through the week that's going to push into the upper 70s by the end of the week. And we have a broad upper level trough that can bring in some spice throughout the week. So it might be kind of injecting little sections of precip into the area. But for the most part, we're looking at really nice weather coming up this week. And here's a graphic from the National Weather Service out of Pocatello with the temperatures for today. So a pretty cool fall feeling like day. And take a look at what we got yesterday. Seems like kind of a bust. Well below what was forecasted for the Central Mountains. Zoom in here a little bit. We picked up just under 2/10 of an inch yesterday at China Gardens, 0.17 inches. And up north, they picked up almost a half inch, Galena Pass, 0.6 of an inch, and similar up in Stanley. And not as much over in the Pioneers, although some stations aren't showing up this morning. I think they're having some kind of issue. But you can see there were some localized sections that really got hit. Show you this graphic here. Like over here in Boise with an 1.3 inches of rain, and then over in Pocatello almost an inch of rain. So it was pretty isolated yesterday. But for our area here, we didn't really see as much as the forecast was claiming was going to come through. Take a look at current radar on my weather app. So you can see that cold front that moved through yesterday is over to the east of us and is going to continue to move east. And that's going to be giving us some wraparound moisture. So we have that low down here, and it's just going to be spinning counterclockwise, spinning some of that, rotating that moisture around towards us throughout the day. And it looks like after noon, it pretty much is out of our area, and then we're left with high pressure. So looking ahead today, or we see this general warming trend later into the week, and we're going to be pushing 80 on Friday before we kind of slowly decline again. And you can see in the cloud forecast down here, there's not too much happening. We're going to be having little bits of moisture here and there, but probably not enough to really affect us in the valley, probably more in the mountains. And this is looking at current satellite imagery. So we're right about here. You can see some moisture popping around, working in that counterclockwise motion, but much drier than it has been in the last few days looking at the water vapor map. So this whole area yesterday had a lot of this more darker blue shading, and it's really just kind of lacking that moisture today. So we're not going to be seeing as much rain. You can see that low that is going to be coming across to the south of us really doesn't have that much energy, so we're probably not going to see much out of it tomorrow, besides maybe a couple of clouds. And looking at that, this is another way of looking at this is the 500 millibar kind of big synoptic view of looking at the trough systems across the area. So you can see this big trough heading across our area today and migrating its way over to the east, and then we'll be kind of in the clear of not having any significant weather over our heads for a while. And we'll look at the HRRR forecast for today. So we'll start out, pin this to right now. So you can see there's a big band of moisture that's going to be circulating around counterclockwise towards us today. And that's going to kind of be mostly out of the central mountains. There's a couple specks that you can see near Galena Pass by around noon. And then there is a chance of some very isolated showers in the afternoon. But I feel like I'm anticipating it to be a pretty dry day, especially compared to what the models were saying yesterday. And if the clouds hold up, that's going to stop that daytime heating, amplifying any afternoon thunder showers. And then tomorrow we're looking fairly clear with weather. So yeah, looking at much lower amounts of rainfall. They're still kind of throwing out up to a half inch in the Pioneers with that wraparound moisture, and then some in the western Smokies and Sawtooth and over into the White Cloud area. But generally we're falling under a quarter of an inch or less, even less in the valley floor. Looking at barely a trace of rain. Interestingly enough, later today we are going to be in 30 to 40 percentile range of having some instability. So there is some instability left in the atmosphere. So that does make me feel a little cautious of saying that we're not going to get anything. Looking at the Cape, there is still just as much value as there was yesterday to have some thunderstorm activity. But my gut's kind of telling me it's not going to happen as long as those clouds stay thick in the sky. So all that stuff will lift out later this afternoon, and we're looking at really nice weather for the upcoming week. That's all I got for you today.